Abandoned. This was the word they used over and over again. Time felt as if it were teasing me with this hackneyed phrase, each and every syllable a dagger severing my pride, my heart, and my sanity. Did I abandon them? Was I truly the one who caused them to die? I was their leader. They counted on me. Perhaps through retracing my steps, I can understand what happened better. Back to where it began, I suppose. I come from a small village in the mountains. Well, not that small anymore. Around there, everyone called me Dirk, but my full name is Dirkethus Sutoka. I guess Dirkethus was too much for them to handle. Either way, back when I first showed up here in Fazan, I picked up work as a stable hand and did my part to help this small village grow. To my surprise, I discovered a week or two after finding my place in this village that its very name meant growth. It surely seemed like I was headed in the right direction, living in a town of growth. The village felt cold in the winter times, being a mountain village, though it always sang prosperity. Maybe not surplus, but the boards of the huts in various village halls were toned. They had special engravings along many of the walls, as well as paints. Though it was a village, it felt tribal in nature, close to the mountain as a symbiote. It did not leech from its native capital. See, before any of that, I wandered about like a stranger to every inn, tavern, bystander I could find. I've been an orphan all my life and had to find my own way around, again and again. Coming to Fazan, I had heard about the potential of a home. It was a small village after all, and the people there needed help. Perhaps I would finally find peace and rest from my weary travels. Unfortunately for me, I was only about 16 back then, and at that age, well, I became restless at nights, unable to get proper sleep or dreams. There were always so many dreams. My blood boiled under the skin, anger rising with every night. I got so angry about it I wanted to change even then. The travels I walked before stuck to me, imprisoning my ability to settle. Maybe I didn't want to settle. I looked about Fazan, hoping I could maybe find another sort of job, something that would keep me moving. Maybe then I could wear myself out so much I had to sleep. This endeavor fell short. A cold whisper ringing in my ears as if the wind had carried it. It spoke to me saying, "You'll never find your home." Tarnishing my own thoughts, I clenched my fists as I stared down at the ground. I had finally found a place I could call home, and such a thought would cross my mind? What ludicrously twisted thinking! Standing on the main route through the village, my eyes shut tight, beckoning for the inevitable. My thoughts swirled about, breaking me down, sending me to a difficult place to survive. I could feel the very salt in my eyes about to burst. However, just before the tears could roll, I received a sturdy smack against my back, sending me forward a step. It felt like a thick rod had prodded me forward. In fact, if it weren't for the hefty boots to my right, I would have thought I was being pushed along the gravel. Next to me stood a tall man, bald with a black beard large enough to swallow me whole. He wore large, bulky gloves crossed with thick leather. The boots were no different. His torso bore a heavily set apron with strange smudges and black marks. The man towered over me, which was intimidating. "You all right, boy?" the giant said to me. "Yeah, I'm okay, thanks," I replied without any confidence. The words I spoke didn't back what they meant in any right. "Ha! Looks to me like you were having, what do you kids call it? A mid-youth crisis?" The man smiled wide and proud as if he stuck me into a board with a hammer, my existence reduced to a simple nail. I inhaled through my nose. This just pissed me off. "What does he think he knows, huh?" I responded, "No, I was just..." I leered around me for anything to use in my obvious lie. Looking down at the ground, I found a few rocks, which didn't really help. Gotta use what I can get. "I was just looking for some interesting rocks." My shoulders slumped down as I spoke these words in self-disappointment. Sighing, I tried to make it believable. "I'm a collector." The man stared down at me with the eyes of a demon. They felt sharp and cutting, piercing through me like a spear through a bale of hay. His arms now crossed, he scowled before his rebuttal. "You think I'm an idiot, kid?" Now I just felt worse. Could I not have just told him I would be okay sometime? No. Sorry, I'm just having a hard time right now. Yes, I can see that, the man replied coldly. You have the eyes of a boy who longs for something more. These words broke every defense I had in my heart. They crushed every wall, ballast, or trap to protect the fragile part inside. Was I really this easy to read? What are you looking for anyway? The truth this time, if you don't mind. The man finished talking and slightly turned his body to lean down a bit. I guess I had no choice now, what without my inner defenses. I was looking for a job, I replied coyly. The man straightened, his arms still crossed as he spoke. Oh, the stable life not your strong suit? I looked at the man above me. What did his eyes say? If I could be read so easily, surely the same must be true for others. I just didn't know how to do it yet. The details in his eyes worked in harmony, curving around as intricate pieces. They cultivated dominance, yet somehow ease. Really taking a moment to understand them, the man didn't feel so intimidating anymore. His were the eyes of a stern support, emerald and crystalline spheres. I wouldn't say that, necessarily. I paused as I thought about how to explain myself, then continued. I can't sleep well at night. I used to travel a lot, and now... Before I could pick my sentence back up, the man did it for me. You can't seem to get out of the lifestyle. How he could possibly have known that is beyond me. But he was right. I couldn't get out of the constant feeling of survival. Some things I did I wasn't proud of, stealing from people and hurting them too sometimes. Did my eyes read that as well? The man sighed before continuing, putting his hands on his hips. Look, kid, you may not understand why yet, but you remind me of myself a long time ago. I can't offer a job, but perhaps I can offer you a hobby. Something you can use to focus that energy into. The man's expression had gone to that of someone looking to help. I merely stood there, wondering what he could possibly be offering. Let me aid you by teaching you how to fight. My eyes must have gone wide, because the man just smiled and laughed. I've always wanted to learn how to fight, so it didn't matter to me he was laughing. Soon, I'm sure he would look on to me with a much different face, the one of a mentor. Hey, I don't even know your name, mister. I cut into his laughter. Right. I'm supposed to be the adult here, aren't I? You can call me Mendes. I believe your name was... Dirk? He pointed at me with my name. Yeah, that's me. I began to smile with an emotion I wasn't too familiar with. This village seemed to give me a lot of emotions. Out there, living from tree to shelter to caves, I never had time for emotions. I looked up at Mendes with full excitement, happiness, and... hope? I'd love to learn from you. What can you teach me, Mendes? The giant leaned over me with one eyebrow raised and the other squinting his eye. His smirk spoke volumes, as if he knew whatever he would say I would want, no matter the answer. I can teach you in the ways of the katana. What say you, Dirk? His smirk was well-founded, seeing as I beamed more now than even before. My fists clenched as I slowly opened a wide and ready smile, raising upwards in unison. My posture hunched over slightly as my knees bent, everything in me firing up. I couldn't contain my excitement. My veins felt like they were rushing with pure lightning and would sprout energy from the very pores in my skin. At the time, I was sure I could fly. I accept!